This is the last question of the previous. This is the last question. Yeah, so this one is about finding the coordinates. It's saying the normal to this curve at the point x equal to 7 by 3 meets the y-axis at the point P. Okay, so first of all, we know that this is a curve. So it could be any curve. We don't need to know the shape. So let's suppose it's just, I don't know, this shape. It could be anything else, but doesn't matter. And it's saying there's a normal to this curve. Let's suppose this is the point. So there's a normal here that's going at 90 degrees here. If this is a tangent, that's normal. And it meets the y-axis over here. Okay. At this point, x is 7 by 3. But that normal goes on and cuts the y-axis at P. So this is the point P. So it's important to understand the statement and find the exact coordinates of point P. So we first have to figure out what that normal is, find out its equation, and using that we can figure out the point P, and then we will put x equal to 0 to figure out the y value. You see, this is a 7-mark question, so it's important to plan it ahead. So how will we do it? We'll start with this point. The first thing I would like to find out is the value of y here. So I'll just put y equals to 7 by 3 minus 2 and 3 times 7 by 3 plus 1 whole power 2 by 3. That gives me 1 by 3 into 8 power 2 by 3, and that is 1 by 3 times 4, which is 4 by 3. So I have found the point 7 by 3 and 4 by 3. That's my point. Let me call it A. So that's point A. Now I want to figure out the gradient at that point, and using that I will figure out the gradient of the normal. So I'll say that x. And this one is going to be this. And what I'll do is I'll say that one is u. So u is x minus 2 and v is this whole thing. And now I have to find u prime. So that is going to be 1, and v prime is going to be 2 by 3 times this whole thing minus 1. So 2 by 3 minus 1 is going to be minus 1 by 3 times derivative of the thing that's inside, which is 3. So 3 cancels out. And now I have 2 over 3x plus 1 whole power 1 by 3. And now my derivative of y prime is going to be uv. So that is uv prime. So 2 over 3x plus 1 whole power 3 plus vu prime. So u prime is 1. So I'll just copy this here. Okay. And now at the point y prime at x equal to 7 by 3, y prime is going to be, I'll just plug it in here, 7 by 3 minus 2 into 2 over 3 times 7 by 3 plus 1 whole power 1 by 3 plus 3 into 7 by 3 plus 1 whole power 2 by 3. So that gives me 1 by 3 times 2 over 2, which cancels out again, plus 8 power that whole thing, so that is 4. So I get 4 1 by 3 as my gradient. In other words, this is 13 by 3. For normal, my gradient is going to be reciprocal of that and subtracted. Sorry, the sign is flipped. So that's a gradient. And now I want to figure out the equation of the line. So it's going to, I can do it multiple ways. One way I can do is this, that I know that for the normal, this is the gradient. So I can use this to find the equation of line, and using that, I'll plug in and find the y-intercept. So if I do that, I just have to find the y-intercept, right? So if I do that, then I'll say that, okay, y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. Now I know that y1 is 4 by 3, which is a. So 4 by 3 into m, which is minus 3 by 13, x minus 7 by 3, which is my point for x. And that will lead me to y equal to minus 3 by 13 x plus 7 by 13 plus 4 by 3. And whatever value I get over there, that's my y-intercept. So that's probably going to be, I don't know, it's going to be a big value. So 21 plus 52, so over uh, 39, I think. Yeah. So minus 3 by 13x plus, and that's my y-intercept, and that's what I wanted to find out. If you didn't want to find the equation of line, what you could have done is you can put this gradient equal to, knowing that this gradient is between p and a, I can say that okay, gradient of ap is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So since the gradient I know is minus 3 over 13, I'll be okay, minus 3 over 13 is equal to y2, which is 4 by 3, minus y1, which is unknown, divided by 7 by 3 minus 0, because that is the x value over there. Once you will figure this out, you will also see that it's going to be the same value. Okay, so there are two ways to do this, and that is the last question from previous paper. We will move on to the next paper now, which is 2019 summer paper 2-2. All right, let's start with this. It's saying that y is this and find an expression for dy by dx. No problem there. We know that this is in the form of quotient rule. So I'll say, okay, u is sine of x and v is ln x squared. Now notice that this is x squared actually. It's not ln x whole squared. Okay, so it is x squared that's inside ln, which I will have to differentiate. All right. Now the next thing is, what is v prime for sine x? It's going to be, sorry, u prime for sine x, it's going to be just cos of x. But v prime is going to be 1 over whatever is inside here. So that's 1 over x squared times derivative of this function, which is 2x. So I end up with this x cancels out. So 2 over x is my final answer. Now I will apply the quotient rule, which says that it is v u prime minus u v prime over v squared. So my v is ln x squared, u prime is cos of x, minus u, which is sine of x, into 2 over x, which is v prime, over v squared. So it is ln x squared whole squared. Do not multiply x squared by that to figure out x power 4. It's basically whole squared, and that's my final answer. I can just continue with this. So cos of x times ln x squared minus sine 2 sine of x over x whole over ln x squared whole squared. You can leave it out as that. You don't have to further simplify this or fraction or anything. It's good enough. All right, find the value of k for which the line has real and distinct roots. This is a hint for us saying that v squared minus 4ac is greater or equal to 0, because it is real, so that means it's positive, and distinct means that there are two of them. So sorry, it's going to be just greater than 0. So I'll just plug the values in. K is my b, so k squared minus 4 k minus 1, which is a, and c, which is minus k. Okay, so minus k there is greater than 0, sorry. So k squared minus plus 4k squared minus 4k is greater than 0. So I get 5k squared minus 4k greater than 0, leaving me with 5k minus 4 greater than 0. Now I'll find my critical values. My critical values are k equal to 0 or k equal to 4 by 5. How I do that is basically putting this equal to 0 and putting this equal to 0. And those are my critical values. So I'll just put that there. Now I have two values, 4 by 5 here and 0 here. So there are two ways to do this. One is that I create a curve, so I know that this is positive. So my curve is going to be like that. And I want it to be greater than 0, which means I want the part that is above the line. So that is this part and this part. So I'll say that according to this, my k should be less than 0 or k should be greater than 4 by 5, because that is where the line is, or the curve is above x-axis. Another way is that I draw a number line. And I'm like, okay, I have 0 here, I have 4 by 5 here. Pick a number from this area below 0, maybe -1. Put that in there. I will get a positive answer, which is greater than 0. Then I pick a number between 0 and 4.5, 4 by 5, maybe 0.5. I put that there, and you will see that I'll get a negative number. I just have to put that in a calculator to figure this out. And for this one, I'll also get a positive answer. I am interested in just the positive answer because it's greater than 0. So I'll say that, okay, k is less than 0 and k is greater than 4 by 5. Both of them will give me the same answer, but I just have to be cautious about it, that I must mention that I'm finding critical values and not just any random putting it equal to 0 and confusing the examiner. The examiner might take away mark if we simply switch to equal to 0 without mentioning that we are trying to figure out the critical values. Okay?
Sir.
Yeah.
So each time in this this sort of a question, do we always have to draw like either the number line or the curve to
Yeah.
show, or should we just write our answer?
If you write your answer, it must be substantiated with some evidence. How does the examiner know कि आपने सिर्फ calculator से आंसर नहीं दे दिया?
Okay, sir.
अपने एग्जामिनर को शो करवाना है कि आपको आता है, और उसके लिए ग्राफ या नंबर लाइन बनाना जरूरी है. हाँ, आप कैलकुलेटर्स आजकल आराम से मिल जाते हैं. विद सॉल्व दिस फॉर यू. You can use them to check it and use them as a tool to verify your answer.
Sir, I'm really dumb. I don't know how to use the calculator properly.
Okay, I'll teach you that. Alright, this one is saying given that x minus 2 is a factor, तो हमें पता लग गया है कि अगर x equals to 2 plug in करेंगे तो it will be equal to 0. So we'll just say that, okay, x minus 2 is a factor, so f of 2 is equal to 0. How do I know that f of 2? Because x minus 2 is equal to 0 में x2 होता है. So once I have that, I'll be like, okay, what is f of 2? F of 2 is a into 2 cube minus 12 into 2 squared plus 5 into 2 plus 6, and this should equal to 0. So let's just do this. 8a minus 48 plus 10 plus 6 equal to 0, which leaves me with 8a minus, if I'm not wrong, it should be 32 equal to 0. So that leaves me with a is equal to 4, and I've done it. Showing all your working, factorize this thing. Now, I already know that one factor is x equals to 2, and my equation over here is the same as the one before, so I can simply use the factor method. And now there are multiple ways to do this. Simplest one is synthetic division. So I can simply be like, okay, that's one method. Okay, so I'll start with this: 4 minus 12, 5 and 6. I put x equal 2 here, bring that here. 2 times 4 is 8, so I put 8 here. Minus 12 plus 8 is minus 4. Minus 4 times 8 is minus 8, I put that here. 5 minus 8 is minus 3, I put that here. Minus 3 times 2 is minus 6, minus 6. That tells me that, yeah, this is a factor because last number is a remainder and that is 0. So that tells me that my answer is going to be x minus 2, which is from the previous part, multiplied with 4x squared minus 4x minus 3. ठीक है, और इसको equal to 0 करके आप solve कर सकते हैं. That's one method of getting it. You can obviously do Milton breaking or any of the other methods. For example, if I do Milton breaking here, I'll get 4x squared plus 2x minus 6x minus 3. That leaves me with x minus 2. 2x is common, so 2x plus 1 minus 3 is common, and 2x plus 1 inside. So my final answer will be x minus 2, 2x plus 1, and 2x minus 3. That's my final answer, which will give me the three answers. The second method I could do is basically called comparison. So I say that, okay, I have x minus 2, that's from the previous part, but the other one I do not know. So that is ax squared plus bx plus c. क्योंकि मुझे तीन फैक्टर्स तो चाहिए ही चाहिए ना, तो इसका मतलब है कि एक क्वाड्रेटिक फैक्टर है और एक लीनियर फैक्टर है, और इसको मैं आइडेंटिकल कर देता हूँ दूसरी इक्वेशन, 4x cubed minus 12x squared plus 5x plus 6. So once I do that, I will obviously expand this side, so that leaves me with ax cubed plus bx squared minus 2ax squared minus 2bx plus cx minus 2c, and that is identical to this side, 4x cubed minus 12x squared plus 5x plus 6. You just have to be good at algebra to get this right. Now you compare with x cube you have a, with x cube over there you have 4, so that's it. With x squared you have b minus 2a on this side, and over there you have minus 12. Similarly with x you have minus 2b plus c on this side and just 5 on that side, and without x you have minus 2c, which is equal to 6. So this tells me that c is minus 3, and from this one I can figure out that okay, this is b minus 8. Why? Because 4 I plug in over here, that is this, and b is equal to minus 4. Notice that these numbers are exactly the same numbers that I found over here, and they should be. So now my answer is x minus 2 and 4x square minus 4x minus 3, which I further factorize, and I will end up with this. And that will give me x equal to 2, x equal to minus 1 by 2, and x equal to 3 by 2. Your syllabus says that you should prefer this method, the one where you have to compare, because synthetic division is a simplistic division and there are some assumptions that are working behind the linear factor. Obviously, not to say कि किसी और factor से ये solve नहीं होता, synthetic division works for quadratic factors as well, but simplest linear factors allow you to do that. So your examiner requires that you do this, but even if you do synthetic division, you won't lose marks. The third method that we usually use is long division, but that's usually taught in A levels. I really wonder why, because in other streams, it's usually taught in grade 8th or even 9th in some classes. So इस वजह से, but it's okay. This is a really simple method, we can do that. All
Sure,
right.
but long division is really easy, so we can do that, right?
You can do that, sure. Again, this is just like synthetic division, it's not required. According to your syllabus, all that's required is you should be able to compare equations and then figure out. All right, a circle has diameter x, which is increasing at a constant rate of 0.01. What is this telling me? It's telling me that, let me call the diameter, I don't know, s. So it's telling me that with time, diameter increases by 0.01. Find the exact rate of change of area when x is 6. So it's actually asking me to find the area by time. All right, now here's the thing. What is the area? This is unknown. What is the area of a circle? It is pi r squared. If you look closely in terms of diameter, it's going to be pi. Let me say that diameter is s. So it's going to be pi s over 2 whole squared, which just tells me it's pi by 4 s squared. So it was a aa gaya. A is pi by 4 s squared. Now, what is this? If I want to figure out how is the diameter affecting the rate of change of area, it's going to be pi by 2s. So मुझे dA by ds मिल गया, मुझे ds by dt मिल गया, मुझे dA by dt चाहिए. So I'll just make an equation. dA by dt is going to be dA here, dt here. ये मैंने आपको करवाया था, chain rule बनाते हैं. This is ds, this is ds. You just put that there, and now you have an equation. This is the key part here. You must be able to make this equation. ठीक है? I'll walk you through it again. कैसे करना है? आपको dA by dt चाहिए. You just put dA here, you put dt here. Okay. What's the third important factor here? The diameter. ठीक है? So उसको हम कह देंगे ds and ds. एग्जामिनर ने उसको x बोला है, तो आप इसको dx भी बोल सकते हैं हर जगह पर, which is also going to be the same. तो ये हमारे पास x हर जगह पे आप लिख सकते हो. Okay, so it's going to be the same. All right. Now you just have to figure out the what is dA by dt. I don't know. What is dA by dx? Pi by 2x. And what is dx by dt? 0.01. So that tells me it's 0.01 over 2 pi into x. And what is x? They have told us it is 6. So into 6. So that's going to be 0.03 pi centimeters squared per second, because it is dA by dt, area per unit time. So that's how we're getting it. Even if you don't write the unit, that's fine. All right, moving on. You just have to complete the square here. How do you do that? You first take this as common, x square minus 3x plus 1. अच्छा, अब यहाँ पर usually the usual process is कि अच्छा पहले आप half करो, square add करो, square subtract करो. इसका एक छोटा मेथड मैं आपको बताता हूँ, because this is a 3 mark question, जल्दी कर लेना चाहिए हमें. What you do is you take
Sir,
half of this. Yes.
so when you take 5 common, so
Mm-hmm.
when you multiply it with 1, wouldn't
Oh,
it
oh.
be 5? It would
Yeah, it
change
will
to.
be 1 by 5. अच्छा, तो मुझे इसको अब कॉमन लेना है, तो आई जस्ट से ओके 5. What is half of 3 by 3? 3 by 2. So it will be x minus 3 by 2 this minus हमेशा माइनस करना है 3 by 2 squared plus 1 by 5. Every time you do this, you just have to do this. क्या करना
You're
है?
completing the square method.
Yeah, basically. So you just half this thing, वो यहाँ पर आ जाएगी और the rest of it is over there. So it's going to be 5 into x minus 3 by 2 whole square, and then 5 times this whole thing. Whatever you get out at the end, you just simplify it and you will get your answer. Okay, so this is probably going to be okay. Now they're saying state the least value of this and the value of x at which this occurs. Least value simply means that you have to find the what you say, the turning point. Okay, hk basically. Now if you notice this curve and that curve, what is similarity here? This thing inside, that's exactly what this curve is, right? It's basically the previous question but without 5. So if I write the previous question, what do I have? Previous question gave me 5 into x minus 3 by 2 whole square minus 49 by 4. And this curve is just that. So what I'll do is I'll divide it by 5 because वो वाला 5 से डिवाइड करके हमें ये मिल रहा है. इसको 5 से डिवाइड करूं तो मुझे ये कर्व मिल जाती है. तो I'll just divide by 5 and that's what I get. X minus 3 by 2 whole squared minus 49 by 20. And that is my final answer. My turning point is 3 by 2 minus 49 by 20. So you should be able to relate one part to another, and that's how you would know. Okay, moving on.
Sir, I have a
Uh,
question.
yes, about the previous part.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, पहले वाले में 5 डिवाइड हो रहा, 5 मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा था और सेकंड वाले में भी फिर मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है.
Basically, पहले वाले में 5 कॉमन ले लिया था हमने.
जी सर.
ठीक है, तो whatever was inside this whole thing is what they gave in the next part. तो हाउ डू आई रिलेट इट? मुझे सिर्फ इनसाइड वाले को लेना है, तो मैं इनसाइड वाले को देखता हूँ तो वो ये बनता है, तो आई कैन जस्ट कॉपी दैट है. और इफ आई कांट, आई हैव द फाइनल आंसर है, मैं इसको 5 से डिवाइड कर दूंगा तो ये यही इक्वेशन बन जाएगा.
ओके.
5 कॉमन था ना, तो उसको 5 से डिवाइड कर दें. This I'm going to leave out because it's no longer in the syllabus. All right, we have to solve this. Lg x square minus 3. So for that, basically, you have to understand how log works. Log is what power of 10 is this whole thing. Okay. So now I'll be like x minus 3 is equal to 10 power 0 because that's what it's telling me. So x square is equal to 4 because 10 power 0 is 1, 1 plus 3 is 4. Square root of this thing, but every time you introduce square root yourself, you have to do plus and minus both. So x equals to plus 2 and x equals to minus 2. Two answers here. Next question, they're like, show that for a greater than 0, this whole thing may be written as this. Okay, no problem here. What you have to understand is the rules of log. Log says really simply that if you have a log being added, that means the numbers are multiplying. So if your log is being added, so this tells me ln a power sine 2x plus 5 plus 1 over a. That means they're multiplying whole over ln a. Okay, so now this thing becomes ln a power sine 2x plus 5 minus 1. Why? Because this is a power 1, they're multiplying, so the powers will add, and because a की power 1 है वो वहाँ पे, sorry minus 1 है वो वहाँ पे add होके minus 1 हो जाएगा. And now I'm going to use the power law, which tells me I can bring this here. So that tells me that is sine 2x plus 4, okay, ln a over ln a, which cancels out. And even if you want to write it like this, so wait a minute, my bad, it's not sine 2x plus 4, ये minus 1 वहीं पर रहेगा, because you see this is in parentheses. So 2x plus 5 minus 1. Okay, that's how it works. So yeah, we have written it. K is minus 1. So sine 2x plus 5 and k is minus 1. That's okay, Sameen. I have recorded the session. You can review it later on. So I have this thing, and notice that this is just this whole thing simplified as that, which means that over here we can simply replace it. We can say that this is equal to sine 2x plus 5 minus 1 dx. And that's no problem. We know how to integrate. When you're trying to integrate sine, it's going to be minus cos of this thing divided by the derivative of the insides, which is 2, and then this is minus 1x. And I will have to obviously plus c here because this is indefinite integral. And that's it. That's all the information that we have. Yeah, it's saying a is greater than 0. Yeah, we don't have any more information. So you can just leave it like that. All right, in the binomial expansion of this thing, the coefficient of x cube is 120 times. This is important. Coefficient of x cube is 120 times the coefficient of x5, which means that if you have dx cube, then that is equal to 120 times c if c is with x power 5. Okay, so for that, let's see how we can do that. Find the possible value of constant a. So first of all, let me try to figure out the thing with power 3. So because यहाँ पे x की power 3 है, I can just simply do that 6c when r is 3. इसकी general term देख लेते हैं. So if I try to figure out the general term of this thing, it's going to be 6cr a power 6 minus r x by 2 power minus x by 2 power r. That's my general term, okay? tr plus 1. So if I want x power 3, I am looking for term number 4. So that is going to be 6c3 a to the power 3 minus x over 2 to the power 3, which leaves me with 6c3. What is that? Do you have a okay? है किसी के पास कोई कैलकुलेटर वगैरह?
Yes, sir. एक second.
Is it 40?
It's 20.
It's 20. Okay. Oh yeah, it's 20. My bad. Yes, 20 over 8 multiplied by minus a cube x cube. दूसरा मुझे term with x power 5 चाहिए, तो that is term number 6. So 6c6, sorry, 6c5 a to the power 6 minus 5 minus x over 2 to the power 5 leaves me with 6c5. What is that? 6? Can you
Yes,
confirm?
sir.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so 6a power 1 over minus 32 x power 5. Now it's telling me that the coefficients relate that x cube's coefficient, which is minus 20 over 8 a cube, is 120 times x power 5's coefficient, which is 6a over 32. तो यहाँ पर सबसे पहले तो हम ऐसा करते हैं कि हम माइनस साइन को चेंज कर देते हैं. ओके, एंड देन वी कैन सी दैट दिस इज 4 5s are 20, 4 2s are 8. Similarly, this is 2 3s are 6, 2 16 is this, and then we also know that 4 4s are this and 4 30 is this. तो बेसिकली हम सिंप्लीफाई काफ़ी हद तक इसको कर सकते हैं. तो दैट लीव्स मी विद 5 by 2 a squared is equal to 90 by 4. बेसिकली मैंने ये a इस a से कट दिया, and now I get a squared is equal to 9 and leaves me with plus and minus 3 as my answer for a. Okay, and there are two values, which is why they're saying possible values. So I put that both there. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, moving on. They're saying expand in terms of x as far as the term x cube. No problem here. because it is a simpler one, we don't have to write the first term क्योंकि वो तो 1 से ही start होना है, and 1 की कोई भी power हो वो 1 ही होगी. तो I'll just do it like this, that 1 plus whatever whole squared, whatever जो भी उसकी values हैं, 20c0 लिखने के लिए मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको. It's going to be 1 power 20 2x power 0 plus 20c1 1 power 19 2x power 1, and you can notice that all that's happening is basically we are just getting a term with one power which doesn't really mean anything. So it's going to be 1 plus 20 into 2x plus, now I will need you to help me out, what is 20c2? I'll need that. So if I think it's, is it 90? Oh sorry, 190.
Yes, there's
Yes, sir.
190.
Okay, so 190 into 2x squared plus 20c3, I'll need that. So that I think is
1140.
1140. Okay, and that's it, that's all we needed. So it's going to be 1 plus 40x plus this is going to be 4, don't forget that. So 4 times 190 is 760. Can you confirm?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is this, and then this is x cube, and remember this is 2 times 2 power 3, so that is 8. So जब 8 से multiply होगा तो that's
6840.
8800 plus 320. So कितना बन गया? 9 क्या?
6840.
6840.
9120.
9 नहीं होगा.
Oh wait, yes.
9120.
9120,
मुझे लगा
right?
square it's actually
Yes.
cube. Yeah.
हाँ तो देखो इसको चलें ठीक है छोड़ दें. And that's it, that's good enough. Use your expansion to show that the value of 0.98 power 20 is this. Okay, interesting. 0.98 power 20 कहाँ से आ गया भाई? यहाँ से कि आपको पता है 1 plus 2x power 20 को अगर मैं 0.98 power 20 करना चाहूँ तो what will I need to do? I'll basically have to subtract. इसको मैं कैसे शो करवा सकता हूँ 1 plus 2x में? I can say that this is basically, if now the longer method would be, I'd say okay 1 plus 2x is equal to 0.98, which tells me that x equals to minus 0.01. Can you confirm if that's it? 0.98 minus 1 is 0.02 divided by 2 is 0.01.
Yes.
So now my x is given. I can just apply that there. So 1 plus 40 into minus 0.01 plus 760 into minus 0.01 squared plus 9120 minus 0.01 cube, and you plug it in a calculator, and you will get that this should be equal to 0.67 to 2 decimal places. ठीक है?
Sir, isn't it 20?
What is
1 plus
20?
20.
नहीं, but देखे ना 2x से मल्टीप्लाई भी तो होना था.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. All right, we have to solve this equation again, no problem here. We can convert it to a quadratic equation because we know that sine square x is nothing but 1 minus cos square x. So 1 minus cos square x minus 13 cos x equals 1, leaves me with 6 minus 6 cos square x minus 13 cos x equal to 1. I take everything to the other side, so that gives me 6 cos square x plus 13 cos x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. And now I can just say let cos x equal to y, leaving with 6y squared plus 13y minus 5 is 0. And uske baad, it's not a problem for us. We can simply find the quadratic equation, solve it as we have done many times. और उसके बाद we will put it equal to cos x. जो भी answers आएंगे, 2 answers आएंगे, we put them equal to cos x. और हमें वहाँ से answer मिल जाएंगे in terms of कि वो so I can do it. हम क्यों wait करें, कर लेते हैं. So this is going to be
5 or
15 and 2, 15 and 2 I think. 5 and 7 नहीं हो सकता ना, because that doesn't multiply to give you minus 30.
Okay.
Yeah, so minus 2y plus 15y minus 5 equal to 0. So this is 2y, 3y minus 1, and this is 5. So 3y minus 1 again equal to 0. So that gives me 3y minus 1 and 2y plus 5. That is going to be y is 1 by 3 and y is minus 5 by 2. I have two answers, both of them, one is positive, one is negative. Because this is equal to cos of x, I will need to remember senior cat. If you remember correctly, senior cat said that it is going to be you simplify, then you find the range. Do we have the range? Yes, we do, 0 to 360. And then quadrant. So quadrant for this is going to be this and this. And for this one is going to be this and this. Then alpha. Alpha is this angle. So cos inverse of 1 by 3. What is that?
70.5.
70.5.
70.5 degrees. And this one is cos inverse of 5 by 2. Notice that I ignored the negative sign because उसका मकसद सिर्फ quadrant बताना होता है. वो मुझे मिल गया. तो क्या है अल्फा यहाँ पे आपका आया?
Sir, math error.
मैथ एरर. क्यों आ रहा होगा मैथ एरर? आप लोगों ने ग्राफ्स किए, मैं कॉस किया, मुझे बताएं क्यों मैथ एरर आ रहा है यहाँ पे?
Sir,
Yes.
okay, never mind.
मैथ एरर इसलिए आ रहा है क्योंकि साइन और कॉस दोनों देयर रेंज इज फ्रॉम -1 to +1.
Yes, sir, I was about to say
And this is
that.
-2.5. So this is way out of the range. तो इसलिए आपको this is a nonsensical proposition getting cos inverse of -2.5. तो इसलिए हमारे पास बस ये बच गया. तो हमारे पास theta और x is going to be 70.5 and 360 minus 70.5, whatever that comes out to be. So 290.5 or 289.5 जो भी आता है. All right. Show that for this, whatever can be written in the form ye. Okay, let's see. I'm going to write it like this: 4 tan y divided by square root 1 plus tan squared y. 4 sin y over cos y divided by square root of 1 plus tan squared y. Do we have any
Secant square y.
क्या होता है वो बताएं?
इसका secant square y नहीं होता?
1 plus tan squared y is secant squared y.
Or might be
That's my
wrong, I'm
dogs.
not sure.
We can just confirm. Inequalities are given in the beginning. These identities we can. Yeah, secant square y is this. Okay, so you cancel this out and you have this 4 sin y over cos y divided by secant y. Okay, so secant y is 1 over cos. So when you take reciprocal of this comes out to be cos y multiplied by that, so that cancels out. So I have 4 sin y left over. ठीक है, reciprocal of secant y is cos y. तो हो गया. And hence solve this thing. Okay, I know that this left hand side thing is 4 sin y. ये पूरा 4 sin y है. So 4 sin y plus 3 equal to 0. Y is given to me. Okay, so sin y comes out to be minus 3 by 4. Again, senior cat. Simplify, I've done it. Range, I know that. It is in radians, so make sure your calculator is in radians. Quadrants, this is negative, so it's going to be this and this. Alpha, alpha is sine inverse of 3 by 4. What is that? Can you figure it out?
Sir, isn't the fourth quadrant positive?
For sine, no.
It's positive for cos, not sine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember this thing. This is acts, just like
Sir,
we can say get your act together, like that. Okay.
Yes, I got it.
Sir, it's 0.85.
0.85 रेडियन. अब एक बड़ी मजे की बात है, उसने हमें माइनस पाई बाय 2 और पाई बाय 2 बोला है. पाई बाय 2 ये होता है और माइनस पाई बाय 2 ये होता है. इसका मतलब हमें सिर्फ एक आंसर ही बताना है, ये वाला. हमें तीसरा जाना ही नहीं क्योंकि हमारी रेंज से बाय कर सकते. And no wonder this question was for just 1 mark. All right, vectors. We still have to cover vectors, guys. Give me a time and you can give me 1.5 hours and we'll review that chapter.
फिर
Or
इस वीकेंड कर लेते हैं.
सर अभी जो
okay, this
फ्राइडे
weekend कर
की
लेते हैं.
क्लास है वो कर लेते हैं.
Okay. So we have just oh wow, so many questions left. इसमें 2 सवाल और रहते हैं तो हम फ्राइडे वाली क्लास में फिर ये तीनों कर लेंगे. We can also keep a class on Wednesday. Just confirm with me earlier on.